This video is going to be basically about discussing that we, as the Democrat Party, need to be retooling the narrative around future solutions instead of just present grievances. And this is mostly centered around the fact that, there's talk about impeaching the President of the United States or, trying to convince people to use the 25th Amendment to kick him out of office. That's a horrible narrative in this day and age right now. We do not need to be giving the Trump power of being the victim. Let's be honest. That's what he's going to be talking about when, if somehow the Democrats win the House and the Senate, that's all he's going to be crying about. We should not be giving Donald Trump that kind of power over us. Because let's be honest, that's all he's going to be talking about. He should be doing his job as President of the United States, and Congress and the Senate's job is to make sure he's doing that job. We should be shoving down amendments, laws, whatnot, down his throat, make sure that he is actually doing his job. And yes, I know he understands the power of veto, but guess what? If we have enough people, we can override the veto. We, as society, House, Senate, we need to hold him accountable and make sure Donald Trump actually do his job. Kicking him out, nothing's going to change. I don't know why the Democratic Party is selling the idea that, once we impeach Trump, everything's going to be better. That J.D. Vance is all of a sudden going to be his own man, going to say, oh yeah, Trump sucked. Here, I'm going to do something different. No, it's been pretty clear, and that, Trump just has power over literally everyone in his party. J.D. Vance isn't going to be his own man and start making his own decisions. Trump, from Mar-a-Lago, when he, sits there whining, crying, he's still going to be dictating what to do. He did that from 2020 to 2024. He's going to do it again. I don't understand why we, the Democratic Party, are trying to sell this notion that, things are going to better. Prices are going down. Food is just going to be, prices, everything's going to just go crater because Trump's out of office. No. We need to start giving people plans, showing them proof that we can move past Trump, a future solution. Talking about Trump right now and impeaching him is a past grievance that we just need to let go. Nothing's going to change if we just do not give this people solutions to the current problems. The oil one, for example, I am going to make another video about that, but that needs to be addressed. The oil prices, the food industry with high prices of food, that needs to be addressed as well. We need to actually make policies to actually address that. The whole idea that, vote for me so we can impeach Trump and things will get magically better. No, not going to happen. J.D. Vance isn't going to be, his own man. Stephen Miller doesn't all of a sudden stop being the less of a racist prick. Everyone isn't going to all of a sudden in the Trump administration just going to be suddenly better people because Trump isn't president of the United States. That's a lie that we need to quit selling. It's not going to happen, and we need to just understand the fact that he has to just stay there. He has to be forced to do his job as president of the United States. Now, impeaching everyone else like he's got, kick them all out, force him to actually put intelligent people in instead of loyalists who just trample over, threaten our rights. Mind you, they're not taking away our rights, personally, I don't believe that, but they are having no problem trampling all over them and, threatening them. But we, as a people, need to have no problem impeaching them. Now, for other facts, we just need to just not entertain Trump's ideas of, being a victim. I think so. That's what he's going to do when there's some momentum behind him being impeached. At the fact that he's just going to be kicked out. We shouldn't give in to that. We should not be giving in to the idea that Trump is a victim. He put himself in this position. He's making the poor choices. He needs to grow up, be an adult, and admit that he's made mistakes. No human being is perfect, especially him. He needs to understand that, and I think everyone can agree that he is not the perfect president. And the fact that he's got people, telling him he is, they, especially, the freaking head of Department of War and, Department of Defense and all that nonsense, no, they need to be removed and replaced with people that actually aren't willing just to forego the laws and amendments just to make Trump feel better. Trump needs to understand that he's made mistakes and that he needs to be better. As his wife said, be better. Maybe he should listen to her once in a while. But regardless, we should not be entertaining Trump's delusion that he is a victim in all of this. He made these mistakes. He's the one who keeps screwing around with the economy. He's the one screwing around with the Iran war. He's the one who's ignoring the food crisis right now, or the housing crisis. We should not give in and just entertain the man and say, oh, yeah, everything's just going to be better because, removing him office would just make things magically better. No, I highly doubt that anyone in the Trump administration is going to change into just because Trump's now, residing in Mar-a-Lago. That, the people that, all of a sudden, all the departments are just going to quit, trampling on our rights. No, that's not going to happen. So, we need to quit focusing on Donald Trump because he's a past grievance at this point. He's going to be, he's still here for 2 years till 2029. We should just let him rot there. I have no problem impeaching everyone else beneath him and forcing him to actually hire smart, intelligent people who actually know how to do their job. But impeaching him isn't going to make things better. We need to actually force him to accept policies that he doesn't like but help the American people. That's what is going to anger him the most. That's going to get him to do his job. That he's got to understand that the world does not revolve around him. Just because he's the president of the United States doesn't mean everyone has to kiss his boot. We should make that should be very clear at this point, but it should be made most definitely clear when the midterms come around. And if we do win a high term now, we're not going to do what he says. He's going to do what Congress and the Senate and the laws and they pass. If he doesn't like them, yeah, he's free to veto them. They should be free to also override that veto and force him to actually pass them. He is a past grievance that we need to let go and move. Give the people future solutions. We can't just sit here and keep complaining that Trump sucks. It's not going to work. Yeah, a lot of what he's doing is criminal. He's making money off of it. Then let's never make sure that never happens again. Sell the people the idea. That's exactly what I'm doing with my amendments provisions. It's giving people the idea that we can move past Donald Trump. That we can make sure no one like him ever touches the White House ever again. We need actually smart, intelligent people who want to help our fellow Americans and run the country properly. That's what this entire video, all these videos are going to be about. We have to try to help. We have to be optimistic. It's odd, in this day and age, trying to be optimistic and, helping our fellow Americans. Yes, empathy. Yeah, I'm an empathetic person. I feel sorry for my fellow Americans. That's why I'm doing all this. Because we want to give people an idea that there is someone willing out there who is trying to help, who is willing to go the extra mile. Try to give them policies that will help them. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell a lie. Lie that things are going to be that Trump was speech, things are just going to be better. No. We, as a Democrat Party, need to quit selling that lie. We need to be actually the adults in the room and put policies. That's what all these amendments things are for. Another idea is going to talk about, especially like with the oil and the food industry. That's another thing that needs to be discussed, and we need to actually give people something to discuss about and actually show them that we are trying to work and make things better. Because all this talk about impeachment is not going to help. And matter of fact, impeaching would probably make Trumpism exist more. It's clearly dying. He's losing some of his most greatest supporters who were there, who's been there from the beginning. He's losing them. Let him flounder and let that ship sink. We shouldn't be plugging a hole by saying, oh, we're going to impeach him. That's going to make things worse. That's going to help the ship right itself, because he's going to be crying a victim the entire time the impeachment process is going on. He knows he's doing wrong. He knows he's, manipulating the markets and making money off it. But is really impeaching him going to make him learn his lesson? No, it's not. He's just going to double down and keep complaining about it, and he's probably going to force Vance to keep, helping him and make money. Let's just be honest. Vance isn't not going to be his own man. So we need to not give Vance power too. If he becomes president, that gives him more of a profile during the 2028 election. We shouldn't be giving Vance that power. If Trump wants to run for that third term that he's been whining and complaining about, let him. But we should not impeach Trump and give Vance more power so that there's some weird, dynamic, give Vance, some advantage in the election. No. Trump wants to run for that third election, let him. And beat him at the polls that day. That's what we need to do. He is a past grievance that we need to move past and give future solutions to. We, as the American public, just need to move on Trump, especially us, the Democrat Party. You need to start selling people solutions. I know it's fun to, whine and complain and dunk on Trump every time he opens his mouth and complains about something petty, what other people say to him. How about we just not respond? How about we say, shake our head, go, good one, Mr. President, and not say anything and just move on and keep selling people policies. Maybe we should not fall into the same rut that Donald Trump is and just give people policies. That's what all these videos are about from now on. It's me trying to help give somebody right this ship. There needs to be a part in the Democratic Party that tries to right this political ship. A lot of people are feeling like it's, there's no point. Politics is pointless, especially with all the prices going up, and feels like nobody's trying to help them. Maybe we should now start selling them people policies, like I'm trying to do here. So, I hope for all of you watching this, spread the video and understand that that we need to band together. This isn't, the MAGA versus the Democrats. No, this is about the rich people that is, and corporations that are, forcing us to pay high prices while they line their own pockets and they just go suck it up and deal with it. Maybe we should offer solutions to that and just sitting, whining, and complaining. So I hope you guys continue watching my videos and hopefully spread the message. Thank you.